You know what's wild? Being told you're so mature for your age, and having it feel less like a compliment and more like proof that something was taken from you. You apologize for everything. You can't ask for help. Peace feels wrong. If any of that made your stomach drop a little, yeah, this video is for you. I'm breaking down 5 things that you grew up way too fast. And here's the thing, sign number 5, it's the one that finally made my relationships make sense. So stick around for that. But real talk, if this gets heavy, that's okay. Take breaks. You're safe here. Let's get into it. Sign 1. You parented your own parents. Okay, so this one is textbook parentification, which is just a fancy way of saying you had to be the adult when you were literally a child. Maybe you were making dinner for your siblings when you were 8. Maybe you were the one calming your parents down during their fights. Maybe you became the family therapist, the mediator, the one who kept everything from falling apart. And here's what happens with that. You learn that your value comes from what you do for other people. Your worth gets tied to how useful you are, how much you can handle, how little you complain. I remember being like 10 years old and feeling responsible for my mom's happiness. If she was upset, it was somehow my job to fix it. That's not how it's supposed to work. But when you're a kid, you don't know that. You just do what you have to do to survive. And the really messed up part? People probably praised you for it. Oh, you're so helpful. You're such a good kid. Meanwhile, you're carrying weight that no child should carry. If you were the little adult in your house, I see you. And I'm sorry that was your normal. Drop a house emoji in the comments if this one hit. I want to know I'm not alone in this. Sign 2. Asking for help feels impossible. You will literally drown in overwhelm, burn yourself out completely, before you ask someone for help. And even if you do ask, you feel guilty about it. You apologize. You downplay what you need. You make it so easy for them to say no. Sound familiar? Here's why this happens. When you were growing up, asking for help either didn't work or it came with strings attached. Maybe nobody was there. Maybe when you did ask, you got shut down or made to feel like a burden. Or maybe help came, but there was a price. Guilt trips, holding it over your head, conditional love. So, your brain learned, it's safer to do it alone. And now, as an adult, even when you're surrounded by people who genuinely want to support you, you can't let them in. You've got these walls up that you built when you were 7, and they're still there. I used to wear, I don't need anyone, like a badge of honor. Hyper-independence felt like strength. But really? It was just fear. Fear of being disappointed. Fear of being too much. And the loneliest thing is when you're struggling and people around you have no idea because you've gotten so good at pretending you're fine. I'm good. I've got it. Don't worry about me. Except you're not good, and you don't always get it. If you're the person who helps everyone but accepts help from no one, this is your sign that it's okay to need people. You're not a burden. You're a human being. Sign 3. You say sorry for existing. How many times today have you said, sorry? And I don't mean for actual things you did wrong. I mean, sorry for asking a question. Sorry for taking up space. Sorry for having needs. Someone bumps into you and you say sorry. You start emails with, sorry to bother you. You apologize before stating an opinion. And alongside that is the people-pleasing. Your needs always come last. You'll twist yourself into a pretzel to make sure everyone else is comfortable, even if it costs you your peace, your boundaries, your self-respect. Why do we do this? Because growing up, keeping the peace was your job. Your emotions were inconvenient or straight up dangerous. Maybe expressing what you needed led to anger, punishment, or rejection. Maybe love was conditional. You only got it when you were easy, compliant, small. So, you learned to shrink. You learned that your feelings don't matter as much as everyone else's comfort. And now you're an adult, doing advanced calculus in every interaction. If I say this, will they get upset? If I do this, will they leave? Except you're not included in that everyone. Here's a wild thought. What if your needs matter just as much as everyone else's? Not more, but not less either. What if you stopped apologizing for existing and started taking up the space you're allowed to take up? Count how many times you say sorry tomorrow. Just notice. No judgment, just awareness. Sign 4. You feel nothing, or everything. This one's tricky because it can go two ways, and sometimes both. Either you can't feel anything, like you know you should be sad or angry or scared, but you just feel nothing, empty, detached, like you're watching your own life from outside your body. Or you feel everything so intensely that it's overwhelming, and then suddenly you feel nothing again. It's like your emotions are either at a 10 or at 0, with no in-between. Maybe you can't cry even when you want to. Maybe you go numb during crisis moments when everyone else is panicking. Maybe you feel like you're floating through life and nothing really touches you. Here's what's happening. When you're a kid and your emotions aren't safe to feel, your brain learns to shut them down. It's called dissociation, and it's a survival mechanism. If being sad got you punished, if being angry was dangerous, if showing fear made things worse, your brain literally learned to cut you off from your feelings to protect you. And it worked. You survived. But now as an adult, you're disconnected from yourself. You don't know what you feel half the time. You might struggle with depression or anxiety but can't quite access it. Or you're terrified of your own emotions because when they do come, they feel completely uncontrollable. I went years not crying, not once, and I thought that made me strong. Turns out it just made me scared of feeling anything real. Your emotions aren't the enemy. They're information. They're signals, and you're allowed to feel them without falling apart. If you feel like you're going through life behind glass, that makes sense, and it doesn't have to be that way forever. Sign 5. Calm makes you anxious. This is the one that made everything click for me. You're always scanning for danger, always waiting for the other shoe to drop. You can't fully relax because your nervous system is on high alert 24/7. You notice everything, people's moods, tone shifts, tiny changes in energy. And here's the weird part. Chaos actually feels more familiar than peace. When things are calm, you get anxious. When things are stable, you're waiting for it to fall apart. Healthy? Stable? Boring? That feels wrong. That feels suspicious. So, you might self-sabotage when things are good. Or, you're attracted to chaotic relationships because at least that you understand. Or, you create problems just so you have something to fix. Why does this happen? Because you grew up in an environment where you had to be hyper-aware to stay safe. You had to predict moods, read situations, stay 2 steps ahead. Your survival literally depended on your ability to sense danger. And your nervous system remembers. Even now, when you're safe, your body is still stuck in that pattern. This is why healthy relationships can feel boring. It's not that they're actually boring, it's that your nervous system was trained for chaos, and calm feels unfamiliar. Here's the truth. You're allowed to be safe now. You're allowed to stop waiting for disaster. Peace isn't the calm before the storm. Sometimes peace is just peace. If uncertainty makes your chest tight, drop a lightning bolt emoji. This one's not just me, right? Okay. If you made it this far and you're feeling a lot right now, yeah, me too. This stuff is heavy. But here's the thing. Recognizing these patterns is painful, and it's powerful. You can't change what you can't see. So now that we see it, what do we do about it? I've got 3 steps for you. Practical things you can start doing today. Not someday, Not when you're ready, today. Let's talk about healing. Here are 3 steps you can do to heal yourself from this. Now let's talk about these steps. Step 1. Name it to tame it. First thing, you gotta actually name what happened to you. Not to wallow in it, not to stay stuck in victim mode, but to just tell the truth. I grew up too fast. I was parentified. I didn't get to be a kid. Write it down. Say it out loud. Tell someone you trust. Because when you name it, it loses some of its power over you. When you stop pretending it was fine or normal or not that bad, you can actually start processing it. Grab a journal and just finish this sentence. I grew up too fast when... and let yourself feel whatever comes up. You don't have to fix it right now. You just have to acknowledge it. The truth is, you can't heal what you won't feel. And you can't feel what you won't name. So, name it. Step 2. Reparent yourself. This one's big. You have to become the adult that child you needed. What did you need back then that you didn't get? Safety? Permission to rest? Someone who listened? Someone who protected you? You can give yourself that now. Practically, here's what this looks like. Give yourself permission to play. Do something fun for absolutely no reason. Color. Build something. Dance in your kitchen. It's going to feel weird and uncomfortable. Do it anyway. Set one boundary this week. Just one. Say no to something. Protect your energy. Prioritize your needs. Ask for help with something small. Let someone do something for you without apologizing or downplaying it. You're rewiring patterns that have been running for decades. It's not going to feel natural at first. That's okay. Do it anyway. You get to be the adult who protects you now. You get to be the safe person for yourself. Step 3. Get support. You can't do this alone. Real talk. You can't heal this stuff by yourself. You just can't. I know asking for help is hard. I know trusting people is scary. I know you're used to doing everything alone. But isolation is part of the trauma. Connection is part of the healing. If you can, find a therapist. Specifically, look for someone who does trauma-informed work. EMDR, IFS, somatic therapy. These modalities are designed for this exact thing. If therapy's not accessible right now, find community. Find people who get it. Online support groups, Reddit communities, books, podcasts. You're not alone in this, and you don't have to figure it out alone. And here's the other thing I need you to know. Healing is not linear. You're going to have good days and really hard days. You're going to make progress and then feel like you're back at square one. That's normal. That's part of it. You're not failing, you're healing. And you're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to be angry about what you lost. You're allowed to mourn the childhood you deserved and didn't get. That grief is valid. That anger is valid. Feel it, process it, and then let it move through you. You can't go back and have the childhood you deserved, but you can give yourself the adulthood you need. So, here's where we land. You grew up too fast because you had to. Not because you wanted to, not because you chose it, but because you were doing what you needed to do to survive. And that took incredible strength. The fact that you made it here, that you're watching this video, that you're doing the work to understand yourself, that's not weakness, that's courage. You adapted brilliantly to an impossible situation. Your brain protected you in the only way it knew how. And now, you get to learn something new. You get to learn softness. You get to learn rest. You get to learn that you're worthy of love without having to earn it every single day. It's not going to be easy. Healing never is. But it's possible. And you deserve it. If this video resonated with you, hit subscribe. We're building a community here of people who are doing the real work, who aren't afraid to look at the hard stuff, who are committed to breaking cycles and healing patterns. And drop a comment. Which sign hit you the hardest? What's your experience with this? You're not alone here, and sometimes just knowing other people get it makes all the difference.